Hey everybody! So here's a big topic that I just see. No one's actually ever asked me about this one, but it's actually something that sort of came up as I started learning how to market myself on the internet, and it applies to allyship. So when people are looking to kind of have their little badge that says "I'm an ally," what they're really looking for is almost the equivalent of like a USDA FDA organic certification. They want to signal to other people, I'm someone who is a good person. And that's fine. But when it comes down to doing the nitty gritty of allyship work, ultimately what matters and the real truth is that you can't be an ally to everybody. It's impossible. You are only capable of being an ally to the people who are already ready to receive help from you. So that requires a really deep personal inventory because if you try and be sort of a generic one size fits all ally, you're only going to be able to show up effectively to one size fits all situations, which is why there's so much pressure for people to be like, oh my God, I have to talk to my representative, I have to go to a protest, or I have to give money, or I have to. And do not get me wrong, all of these things are great, all of these things are important, and everyone and their mom is doing them. But if you want to have actual impact, actually change people's lives, and really actually make any sort of meaningful connection, you'll have to get really clear on specifically who you are an ally for. Take me, for example. I am the best ally for people who are really trying to do mindset work. I'm an ally for people who are creatives. I'm allies for people who feel left out of the conversation of being an ally because they're not given a lot of opportunities. And I'm an ally to people who are just, really just looking for creative solutions for things. Now that's more of a psychograph than a demograph, if that makes sense. Like I consider myself to be an ally to people of color, but it's kind of self-serving as I am a person of color. But I'm constantly working and increasing my craft to be allies to women, queer people, and then there's a larger set of folk who I really, if you wanted me to be certified in, that I couldn't really say that I'm effective at helping. So there's two types of people who you can help. There are people who are like you, that you understand where they're coming from and their needs. That's what I mean by like you. If you can understand them, it means that you can imagine their reality and that their lives aren't too dissimilar from yours. Or whoever is in front of you. Those are the two types of people that you can help. So your strategy as an ally is to, one, know yourself at such depth that you can imagine people who are mostly like you from a psychological standpoint, but who have demographic changes. So I'm really good at helping online creatives do allyship work because I've been on that journey. And when there is inequity for those types of people and those voices not being heard, great. All I got to do is do what I normally do with a twist. And so it's easy and it's fun and it's aligned with my skill set to do that. And I'm an ally to people who are in my personal community, who I know, and where I live. So you can expand where you go, where you show up to, and the people that you meet. That's one way to sort of expand who you can be an ally for. And then just really attend to, where are you having the most fun? Where are you having the most impact? Where are the places that you naturally feel called to go back to? And then when you look at yourself, what are the things that you like to do, and how can you take that particular skill set and apply it to the larger system to get really meaningful results? And when you do that, the rest kind of takes care of itself. Because if you are called into more of these generic allyship situations, you'll at least have had the energy left over to stretch into those things that you're uncomfortable for, instead of what most people do, which is build their foundation on the stuff that's available but isn't necessarily easy for them. So when they start looking at the results that they've gotten, they might have shown up to something that they have to stretch for, but it didn't really make a whole lot of a difference. The things that you can make the biggest difference on are the things that are most essential to you, the things that only you can provide to a situation. So think about that for a second. Really wrestle with the question of like, who can I help? Who will I help? And who is looking for exactly me to help them? and see if you can start there. Because once you've gained the trust of those people, they'll put you in contact with other people who might be able to use your help. And in that way, you're always moving, at your edge, but at the speed of your own growth, at the speed of your own understanding. And if you're finding that your growth and understanding isn't to the level that you want it to be, great. That is amazing data and the first step in really expanding your allyship practice. So if you're hearing this and you're like, oh, let me go explore who I am, great, I love it. And if you're realizing that you don't know who that is, then maybe mastering the game of allyship is a good fit for you, because that's pretty much what we do. We go deep into people's personality parts. We help them identify, dialogue with, and integrate as many perspectives in their reality as possible, so that you're only ever a couple of conversations with yourself away from being able to effectively show up to an ally, as an ally for anyone that ends up being in your field of awareness. So hit me up for more information or click the link in the bio to sign up.